football fans, welcome to another show. The first time we have player guests on today, and we're glad to have Gabe Keller and Casey Cates here, along with Coach Courtney, myself, Chris Evans, and we're going to talk Rocket football. We will maybe revisit a little bit about what happened last week, but we want to just kind of put that aside. We got to move forward. We got a short week this week. 2 weeks in a row, we've been out of our routine. We'll talk a little bit about that. First of all, the show's brought to you by WHITETAIL Properties, located here, headquartered in Marion, Kentucky, along with many other partners here, Riley Tool and Machine, USA Mortgage, Darrick Myers, the Heritage at Marion Golf and Pool, Full Body Fitness Studio, Farmers Bank and Trust, Curnel Ag, First United Bank, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, YTG Insurance, Frazer Law, Hodge Sports and Apparel, C-Plant Federal Credit Union, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Par 4 Plastics, and Deer Lakes Golf Course, and KB Pharmacy. What do you know about them, Gabe Keller? Kind of close relationship there. Yeah.
I know a lot about them.
Gabe's father and mother own part of that business anyway, the pharmacy here in Marion, Kentucky. And Coach Courtney, we're going to get started, and what we'll do is talk a little bit about just the overview of McCracken County. We'll get down in the weeds on them here in just a little bit, but they're off to a 1-1 start. They lost to Paducah Tillman in the first week. We know the guy over there coaching that team. I'm sure you've talked to him a good bit. Tillman knocked them off 42-7 there in the McCracken County rivalry game. I guess it's a rivalry, but Tillman takes them to woodshed. And then McCracken came back last week and beat Apollo 48-12, a team they beat last year when they were 2-8. 2-9 last year. It's one of the two teams. They beat Marshall and Apollo. So, this is a 6A team. They were fourth from the bottom in RPI last year, but still a tough week for us.
Yeah, I mean, they're a big 6A school. I think last year they was an anomaly as far as I think. I think they had a lot of struggles and adversity they had to go through. I think they'd be a good football team. I think they'll have a pretty decent year in 6A this year. I really do. Big, physical. Obviously, the numbers, they have, I don't even know how many guys on the roster, as many as you can probably have. I'm sure they'll bring.
Is there a limit on the roster?
Yeah, maybe there's not until the playoffs. Maybe that's just the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I don't know. They may have trouble dressing in our locker room. They may have to give them the whole gym. They got a lot of boys. They're really big, obviously. I think they're really well coached and do exactly what they're supposed to do. I think when you have that many kids, you can find guys within the system that do exactly what you want to do. So, it'd definitely be a tough out. We knew that when we put it on the schedule, but it's a team that everyone in the district plays. I think it's a good game for us to play. I still like the game, and we just got to come out and play hard. That's what I want to see this week. Get better, show improvement from last week, and play extremely hard. What Rocket football's always been. So that's what I'm looking for this week.
Coach Jonathan Smith, I believe this is his third season over there. Do you know much about
I think this is his second season, but I could be wrong.
Okay,
he was at Paducah Tillman before that, so I believe he was the coach there before Coach Thompson. So I believe that they made that switch, but I could be wrong about that. Don't know a whole lot about him besides that, though. I know he's at Tillman before. Talked to him, several times. Seems to be a pretty nice guy. So, but as far as personally or his career wise, I don't know outside of him being at Tillman and McCracken.
Of course, the district there, the 6A district, they have to deal with Christian County, Davis County, Henderson County, and then McCracken's the fourth team in that.
I think they'd be competitive in that district, honestly.
Yeah.
Henderson's been really good lately, and I think probably pretty good again, but I would think that'd be a competitive district.
Of course, over another one, you got Marion County, Central Hardin, North Hardin, Warren Central. You get to that Bowling Green and Elizabethtown schools.
Right.
And but everybody thought when they put this team together, put this school together, McCracken County, which is a relatively young school, been around 15, maybe 12, 15 years, not long.
Yeah, not long. I'm not sure exactly.
And it was made up of Lone Oak, Reedland, and Heath.
Yeah.
And Lone Oak and Reedland were not exactly football juggernauts.
Yeah. Lone Oak had some good years.
A few.
Corey Robinson.
Yeah, when he was quarterback. Yeah, they did. And Jack,
but traditionally, I know.
Jack Haskins was over there coaching at the time and did a good job. But Jack was also over at Heath when he went to state championship.
Right.
And Heath had some good seasons, some really good quality seasons under Jack and Rodney Bashong, and they had some great teams over there. But, I don't know, have they won that district since they've been in there? I'd have to go back and look. I don't know.
I would think so. And like even the Tillman thing, like they've got them the last 2 years, but they were pretty much back and forth. Like I think that rivalry was close to even, if I'm not sure, before the last 2 years. I think so.
That's before the Sean Thompson era.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. He's had some good couple of years there. 3, I guess it's 3. So he's probably been there 3 too. Is this his 3rd? I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that they've won that district if I was guessing, but I don't know that for fact.
So again, last week we were out of our routine. The game was later because of the heat. We got over there. We thought we were going to start on time, and then didn't. And that's difficult sometimes. And then now this week we have a short week, playing on Thursday, out of your routine. Speak to that, and we'll let the guys talk about that too. How does that affect you? You think?
I mean, we had to change the schedule, obviously. We just basically played it like we lost Monday, which is our normal, which is kind of tough when you have a rough week like we had the week before. You really want to spend that time and watch a lot of film and correction. But we just try to do it all on the field and kind of, play it within practice to fix some of those mistakes just kind of on the run. That was the tough part about it. But all of it's just rolling with the punches. Things are going to happen in this game and live throughout the week. We're get something every year. With officials, with COVID, it's just something every year. So I think we're getting used to being pretty resilient. I think these guys have shown that they're really resilient. I don't think it played a factor. I really don't. And I don't think it'll play a factor this week. We're all doing the same thing. If it was one team have to do one thing, one team do the other. But, I feel that it doesn't play a difference. And our guys are battle adversity as much as anybody and show that they're resilient. And they'll just go with the flow and do the best they can. So, I don't look a whole lot into it. It's just been a little bit as far as changing schedules and figuring that part out. What do you take out? What do you keep? What's most important? We really need to work on ourselves, but we play here in a few days. Just trying to figure those things out. And we got a really good opponent coming in here. Yeah. We probably need to try to give ourselves some advantages. Those things just kind of are what the tough part for me was.
It's just not in your persona to whine. Most coaches whine a lot,
I don't know. I just don't see the need of it or what it does. It's just try to play the next play.
It seems like even homecoming is always an excuse. You just have all these things. Right. Gabe Keller, of course, a senior receiver, defensive back. Talk a little bit about that, Gabe. Does this what does it change for you this week playing on Thursday night, other than give you Friday night for a date?
Maybe.
I mean,
if you can get one.
We're not practicing.
You can go play.
It's different, but like Coach Courtney said, we're both doing it, so I really don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to play a major role. Like, it's going to be different, but we've shifted our practices to where it's going to be the same as it would be on a normal week, and both teams are doing it, so it's going to be the same. I feel like.
So with your bye week this year, you'll have 2 Friday nights off during the season, which is unusual. What do you do on a Friday night if you don't play football?
I don't know. It really just depends. Probably just rest and recover.
Yeah. Casey, what do you do on Friday nights when you're not playing football?
I'm sitting at home.
Sit at home? I don't believe that.
That's all I've been doing.
Let's talk a little bit about the routine, Casey. I know you, of course, you and I have had some past with routines getting mixed up in baseball. Of course, coached baseball. We went up to play in Owensboro at the time and sat around in the rain, and you were starting catcher that game because we had a little changeover. But so if you're mature athletically, you've been around it a lot. Does being out of your routine affect you in any way?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's different, but I mean, we've always faced adversity in every sport, everything we've always done. So I mean, if we just focus up and get everything done that we need to get done, I think we can come out with a win this week.
So athletics is about beating adversity, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about your performance against Union County. You were player of the week on defense. Could have very well been on offense too, because I think you had 75% of our yards
was over half.
Yeah, was this guy right here, pretty close to it. Talk a little bit about this, and of course, I can always go back to this baseball stuff. I've known you a long time in baseball. and I mean, you're a catcher in baseball. You're a receiver, so and that's what they call the catcher in baseball is the receiver. So does that help you? Talk a little bit about that, and then the Union County game.
Well, I mean, I think it does personally. Baseball helps with football a lot. Just being in the right spot, hand-eye coordination, just with all that, it helps. And back to the Union game, I just did everything the coaches told me to do. They had me in the right spots, make plays, make plays.
You had your mouthpiece in. I've been worried about you because at Madisonville, he never would put his mouthpiece in. Like every time he comes to the sideline, I'd say, I don't want those pretty teeth messed up. Your mom would be mad too.
Yeah.
So your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, Coach Courtney, we're not too worried about being out of our routine, but it is a Thursday game, and then it's going to give us a little more time going forward. Which so next week to prep for the following game, you'll have a little more time.
Yeah, and that's another thing. To me, it's almost like like I'm talking about figuring things out. Like, what do we do on Friday? Do we let them off? Do we try to gain an extra day and watch that film? Like, what's better for the team and where we're at to have an extra day of preparation the next week, or so yeah, it could. And either way, I think it gives us an advantage for the next week coming, whether that's a rest day or that's a preparation day. Either way, I think it helps us in some form. And I'll just evaluate where we're at after the game and kind of make that decision on what Friday looks like. I'd go like to watch a game, maybe that Purdue could tell me Mayfield game is a big one, and obviously Mayfield's in the district, or maybe go to Hopkins Central. They got Madisonville, who we have next. So, I'll probably go catch a game on that Friday night.
Yeah, and Hopkins Central's a team, in the past, you can almost circle it as a W, but no, they're better.
Yeah, I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
They got some really nice pieces.
Yeah. So we're going to take just a moment and recognize our sponsors and reel those through. So we'll be back in just a few seconds. All right, we're back, and we're going to start breaking down McCracken County. Coach Courtney, I watched a little bit of film on them on your huddle program. Appreciate you giving me access to that.
Yeah.
I get a little insight. I can take a look at it. But they're big. They're maybe not as athletic as like a Tillman would be, a team down from Paducah area, but they look pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing bad to say about them. They're huge up front. That's what stands out to you at first. And they come off football really good up front. I would say that's the strength of their team. Got a nice running back behind them. I don't know any of their names, but number 25, a really good player. Out wide, number 2 is really good, plays outside receiver, can really hurt you in a lot of different ways. Good route runner, never takes a play off is what I noticed about him. Whether it's a run play or pass play, he's just always going hard to get a read on what he's doing.
What number is that?
Number 2.
Number 2,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Falconite.
And then 14, also another receiver that plays in the slot. Little dude, really shifty, good hands, could definitely make a lot of plays. So those guys stand out. The quarterback's good. I believe he's young, if I remember right. He's only a sophomore.
Maddox O'Neill, he spells his name like the O'Neills around here. I wonder if...
I think, is he a sophomore? I believe he is a transfer from Mayfield, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of O'Neills down around there in Carlisle County.
Yeah. So he's a nice player, got a strong arm, can really make a lot of throws. They don't use him a whole lot in the run game, or haven't yet, but when he had a chance to break the pocket, made a huge play against Apollo. So seems like a good athlete as well. So offensively, I mean, I don't know if they're missing anything. It doesn't seem like it to me necessarily.
Number 25 is Zeno Cornelius. He's their top running back.
Nice back.
Yeah, they've got a lot of guys they give the ball to or have so far and throw to a number of players. And they're going to run the spread.
Yeah. They'll run the spread, and they'll run a lot of two-back sets. Kind of similar to us, honestly, as far as like what personnel and formations and things. A lot of the same type things offensively that we do.
Well, that's a bonus, I guess, going in.
But we are used to seeing several things that they do, so throughout the year, which is good, I think, going in, especially this short week. It's not like we're playing some crazy offense that in plays we've never saw. Which obviously they do things different than we do, but it's not just completely unfamiliar.
Yeah. On defense, they've got some athletes there. Their linebackers look pretty good. The ones 6 and 45 kind of stuck out.
Yeah.
Those guys are Churchill and Nutt. pretty good players.
Yeah,
could run the
6,
field.
45. And 45 played middle linebacker the first game, and it looked like they moved him to a defensive end or a stand-up outside linebacker, according to how you look at their defense. Coming off the edge, big physical kid. 6 kind of plays what I would call his outside linebacker's position. They move him around a little bit, blitz him sometimes. He's a nice player, a good-looking athlete, gets after it. I like 44, defensive end as well, or stand-up outside linebacker. But coming off the edge, really goes hard. Really like him. They're big up front, so any of the big interior guys are just cause problems. So I like a lot of them. The safety, the free safety, I believe is 23. I could be wrong about that, but he's a nice player. Really, everybody out there, same thing pretty much offensively and defensively. They have size, speed, pretty much everywhere. And I don't feel that there's just, this guy's not very good or there's somewhere to attack personnel-wise. It's not going to be the case.
Yeah. You know, when you play these larger schools like this, one of the 6A's biggest classification state of Kentucky, they're going to be big because they've got more kids to pick from.
Right.
They're going to be physical. They're going to have great athletes in every position. You know, we're just small. I mean, we're small.
We're small in 2 ways. We're small
we're
in
small
numbers,
for
we're
2
small
ways.
in stature. Yeah,
our kids. It's not our kids. Our kids are in great shape. They're physically fit. They're
really
strong.
good football players.
Good football players, but you know, size matters in football.
Yeah.
Or in a lot of sports, size matters.
Yeah.
That's why Shohei Ohtani is great, and Judge and Baton, and in basketball the 6'6" guy, or 6'10", I guess.
Right.
So size does matter, but and Keller's got some size. He's got some length, and Casey's got great hands. So you do the best you can. What do you guys think about going up against McCracken County? What's the outlook here this week? What do you see? I'm sure you've looked at a little. These guys, they have access to huddle. They watch a little film. What are you seeing? Where can we exploit anything? What do you think we can do?
I feel like we're really prepared for them defensively. They do run a few pass plays. They do run the ball out of 20 personnel, and I think we're really ready for them. Coach Courtney's got us covered.
First time we've ever played McCracken County. Crittenden County. This is the inaugural game against McCracken County. This is something you can check, put on your checklist. You can tell your grandkids, in 50 years, I remember the first time we played McCracken. So what are you going to tell your grandkids about this game, Casey? What do you imagine you'll be telling them? Hey, I lit it up, baby. I had 130 yards received. What are you going to be telling those grandkids? Get that crystal ball. What are you telling them in 50 years?
I'm going to tell them that came out, we was ready for everything. Defensively, we was ready. Offensively, we was ready. We came out and did our job, did the best that we could, played as hard as we can, every play. And looking for a win.
And you beat the tar out of them, right? Is that right? Final score was what? It's a crystal ball, remember? So, just an opportunity to play a team we've never played before. And, we don't play too many 6A teams. Haven't. I'm trying to think back the last time we played a 6A team, maybe one of the Muhlen.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know they were 6A.
Yeah, maybe one of the Muhlenberg teams was 6A back in the day when we played them originally. But
I don't know.
So a big school, a lot of fans. I think the house will be packed. It's first home game. You guys talk about playing at Rocket Stadium and what it feels like out there, Gabe.
Senior year, it's going to be. I think it's going to be really fun, especially because it's our first home game. I think a lot of people's going to be there. We're going to black out, and we got the new tunnel too. So I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Oh, so we've seen that. Okay, that's been a good, well kept secret until now. So explain what that is. Let these guys talk about it. What do you have?
We got a tunnel for our entrance. It says Rock Sunside. We have smoke.
I think so.
Smoke and fire and cannons going off, and rockets, red glare, and
I don't know if any of us know exactly what's going to happen, to be honest with you. Mr. Myers is working on the production as we speak. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So Derek Myers, and I think as Dr. Johnny
He helped out
somehow
on it a
involved
lot, yeah.
in
And
that.
there'll be some other guys on that
I'm
team.
sure.
We kind of got a tunnel team, I believe. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I've let them handle it, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I
well, a
trust
new
them.
feature at Rocket Stadium for this week. Excited for the kids, and it's a great place to play. The atmosphere is wonderful. I assume Vicky's back, rocking the music, and Todd Riley will be there, voice of the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great atmosphere. Coach Courtney, talk a little bit about being home. You've been on the road the first 2 weeks. Now you're home, and
Yeah, not just the first 2 weeks, the 4.
Well, yeah,
The
two
scrimmages. We ain't been
scrimmages,
at
yeah.
home all year long. It's different playing at Rocket Stadium. It'll be different for these guys. It'll be different for them coming in. It's just a different atmosphere. We play much better at home. I wish we played the same all the time, honestly, but the truth is we always play better at home. Crowd gives us a lift, that atmosphere. There's just nothing like it. I've never been to a place like Rocket Stadium, whether it's a big stadium, a college game. It doesn't matter, the feeling at Rocket Stadium and the crowd. And just being home around the people you know and then cheering for these guys, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like Rocket Stadium, nothing even close. So
it's really
it will bring us up. It will give us a lift. I'm not saying it'll win or lose you a football game, but it definitely will bring you up. I really believe we play better at home. We always have.
Yeah, these guys go off to some of them go play college sports, and then they say it's not even replicated there. I mean, you go to a big, top
Yeah,
top
I'm sure if you're in
25 school,
the SEC,
yeah,
it might be a little different.
it's different. But typically, where our guys go, it's just it's kind of a letdown in a way,
Right.
But everybody has their own unique atmosphere. And we want to, again, we feature a couple of our sponsors each week, and this week will be Curnel Ag and Farmers Bank and Trust in Marion. Curnel Ag, those guys, they're both Crittenden County graduates, Corey and Blake Curnel, father and son tag team out there with a new place in Salem. They've got a new building there in the old Rudolph's building because they were so busy. They had to pull all their stuff into town and get a bigger shop. And they've got a new mechanic in there doing small engine repair, mowers, side by sides, ATV type stuff again. And, these guys, they'll come to you. You can bring your rig into the shop. They'll meet you in the field. They're certified mechanics, and Blake is he's a certified John Deere mechanic. Blake just graduated a few years ago, went to the John Deere school, and between them they've got like 30 years experience, and great guys, and boy, they do good work. They've done some work for me on my tractor, and I appreciate them. Farmers Bank and Trust, we know what kind of partner those guys are. Man, I tell you, what would we do without Farmers Bank, man? I mean,
I don't know if we'd have a scoreboard.
we wouldn't have a scoreboard. We wouldn't have any. What is it? The Farmers Bank extra point? No, what is it? What is the Farmers Bank?
They touchdown.
The touchdowns. Yeah. Okay, I knew it was when we were around the goal line. I was close. So if you didn't have touchdowns, man, it'd be bad business.
Yeah.
So. Farmers Bank is a great partner, and they're headquartered here in Marion, Kentucky, but they've got offices all over, branches in Madisonville, Henderson, Salem, Central City, Bowling Green, Greenville, Livermore, Calhoun, and that bank has really grown in the past few years, but they keep their small town feel here in Marion, and we're so proud of them. They've been on the same street corner since 1899, right there, guys. Wow. 1899. So we appreciate, Wade and Andy and Pageant, Rose and Chris and Barrett, Jared, Scott, Roseanne, that whole team over there. They're all Crittenden County graduates, and right now you can get a CD for 5.25%. That's pretty good money.
Yeah,
you got to stick some money away, and you can make a little interest in 6 months. And then I want to remind everybody that their Salem branch will be celebrating 20-year anniversary on September 14th. So they'll have a lot going on down there. We appreciate Farmers Bank and Trust. So we'll get back here and have some closing remarks before the final buzzer. We'll just start over here with these guys. Gabe, looking at this game, McCracken County game, we're sitting here at 1-1 on the season. We blew out a team the first week. We kind of got it handed to us the second week, and now we got a tough opponent coming in here. What's the attitude, and where does it have to be? What do you think?
I just feel like whenever we played Webster and we beat them, I feel like it was a different type of energy whenever we beat them. Like, I just feel like we didn't have the energy that we had against Webster as we did against Union.
Mm.
I feel like we need to come out this week with the energy that we had against Webster.
You feel the heat? Did the heat trouble you a bit?
Yeah, but, I mean, it was both teams, so that really had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. But it was difficult playing in the heat. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard a lot of guys coming off field. Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah, and the
know?
bugs, too.
And the bugs were
It was
bad.
terrible.
The bugs were very problematic for me. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Casey, kind of same scenario. It's your senior year. Both of you guys, senior year. You got a chance right here playing in front of a home crowd for the first time as a senior. How are you looking at this game?
First home game, the energy is going to be different than it will any other game this season, I think. I think we're going to come out with the right energy, do the right things.
I think the only thing that really concerns me is I think the volleyball team plays. I believe the soccer team plays.
I'm not sure about
And
volleyball does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure soccer plays that night. Middle school, we have middle school softball that night. So just a lot going on that's going to pull some students away because most of the schedule is done and we leave Fridays open,
Right.
because it's football Friday and you just do that.
Yeah.
But when he gets all of a sudden switched back and you have those commitments that you schedule, the other team sports scheduled well in advance. So I don't know. I expect a big crowd. McCracken's going to bring a big crowd. What do you expect, Coach Courtney?
Yeah, I expect a big crowd, but you're right, it will pull some people. So we need everybody out there that's not being pulled to make sure we come out and make it a big crowd, and hopefully, show them a little bit different atmosphere than they're used to. Real big, stadium and nice turf and all those things. Kind of just a different feel for them. So I hope, just for everybody, for both teams, that we get the full Rocket experience. And I think we will, especially with being a home opener. I expect for it to be a big night.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do to prepare these kids mentally for a game against a team? Number one, you've never seen before. Number two, it's a much larger school than you are. What do you do? How do you start to reach them and their psyche to?
Well, it's always about us. And that's being preached from day one before we ever. It's always about us. We're always being judged on us. It's never win and loss. Like when I was saying last week about Union County, I was one of the most games I was proud of us as I could possibly be last year, and we lost that game. I thought it was one of our better played games. So it's never about. I'm not judging them based on who we're going against. It's always about us. And are we playing hard? Are we doing the best of our ability to our job? That's all I can ask for them. At the end of the day, that's all I want from this team. We want to be the best team that we can possibly be at the end of the year. And that may be a state championship. That may be getting out in the first round. But whatever it is, if you're the best you can be, that's it. And that's what we're working for every week. And I hope the schedule tells them I believe in them because I do. And I hope that this tells them not to back down because someone's big, or not to back down because someone says that you shouldn't play with them, or whatever the case may be. I hope they have the mentality they'll take on challenges in life. They don't care what other people are saying, that they can do things that people may not think they can do, and just give them that mentality of belief. So that's what it's all about for me. I don't care if it's a 6A school or 1A school. We can go out there and win any football game on any given night, and I feel good about the guys I got. So that's all I want them to feel.
Yeah. Injury-wise, we still missing Tyree McLean. We know he's going to miss 3 or 4 more weeks. We came out of the Union County game. Any personnel that we've lost will not have available this week.
I really think coming out of that game, it was kind of a physical game, especially early when it was kind of going, when it was competitive. But no injuries that I know of at all. We had a couple bumps and bruises there within the game, but nothing serious. So we were lucky to get out of that one. Better than most. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts, you guys?
I think so.
All right. Well, we're going to hit the horn for the final buzzer at the end. You got anything else, Coach Courtney?
Come out there and support us.
Yeah,
we're a big night.
Excited to see the new tunnel, the run-in tunnel, and we know this pregame show will be wonderful and get these guys off the right start. It's 7 p.m. Kickoff, Rocket Stadium, and look for McCracken to bring a crowd. So,
I think so.
We've got to fill it up and take our hill over there.
That's
you know,
right.
we need the
That's
ridge
right.
runners over there taking
That's right.
care of it, keeping cracking in line.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Rocket football comes home Thursday night. We'll see you at Rocket Stadium Thursday night.